Coming up right now, scary moments for passengers as their plane tips backwards. We're going to tell you what might have caused it.
Ooh, scary. Also coming up, it was a Wild West-style robbery on the streets of Los Angeles in the middle of the day, and it was all caught on camera.
A little bit later on, Taylor Swift is branded the B word after she secures a new title.
Ooh.
Relax, we'll tell you what it is.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash for this Thursday. Very excited to have you here. We're going to be checking in a little bit later with Matt Doolittle. Right now, let's just check in. Maddie, how are you? Matt, you just got back off some vacationing?
Mitchie, I went to Graceland and I came back a changed man.
Where's the sideburns?
They're kind of there. They're there. I'm growing them out, baby. I'm growing them out.
Can't have your Iron Man or the King. Well, yeah, I like those, but very nice.
Something like that. So I got a text from you late Sunday about Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
And
crazy,
it
man.
was shocking. It really broke my heart. I mean, you think about it, he was part of a cast of a show, which we all sort of grew up on. And it was probably the last show that we all sort of connected or bonded with around the world because it was appointment television, right? So we were all sharing in that collective moment.
I think, you know, what shocked too is a young guy, first
Yes,
off, you
54.
think about it. And how honest he was in his autobiography, talking about how he would go to open houses and steal drugs out of the thing. And this is a guy who's a big Hollywood actor and still is doing something like that.
So when you told me that, I went to his Instagram page, and I don't know if we can catch this on camera, but this really freaked me out because they said they found him dead in his hot tub in his backyard. And this was the last post that he had on his Instagram account. And the caption was, "Oh, it's so warm. I am Matt Man."
Matt Man. He kept on saying Matt Man.
Well, come to find out, have you read his
I have not.
autobiography?
No.
I haven't either, but
I wish I would have.
somebody mentioned, and I heard this morning, I can't verify it, but somebody said in his autobiography, he talks about, if I'm in trouble, if I'm going down the wrong path, I'm going to send the bat signal out. And if you look at the last 2 or 3 posts on his Instagram account, they're all a little bizarre, and they all make reference to Batman.
And okay, once so much in his bedroom, or a bedroom in his place, he had 3 TVs put up on the wall, and all of them had Batman and stuff. And then up on the top was a laser thing that had the bat signal and everything. I didn't know that about what you said. That is kind of freaky.
When I heard that, it sent chills up my arms.
You just tell me that's the first time I heard that.
I mean, obviously, they're still investigating. They're not 100% sure what led to his death, but obviously, it sounds like his assistant found him in the hot tub, and he was dead upon arrival.
All right, so we'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
We'll find out more about that. Let's jump into some other, very scary moment for some passengers who were just trying to get off of a JetBlue plane in New York when the tail tilted back at the gate. We got video for you. Check this out. It arrived from Barbados when it appeared to tip backward. While some passengers were still inside the cabin, were grabbing for their luggage. The jolt caused everyone inside to panic and grab hold of a seat. JetBlue officials said nobody was hurt. That's the good news. However, the plane were damaged. According to one commercial pilot, cargo is usually unloaded from the back while passengers exit from the front. If the ground crew wasn't following this procedure, a shift in weight could have caused that plane to become unsteady and tilt. You can imagine, it's like a seesaw at that point.
It's like the Kim Kardashian of planes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, big old butt in the back. The airline is actually going to do a full review to pinpoint the case of exactly what happened. But imagine you walking out, see you later, bye-bye.
Terrifying.
The good news, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, thankfully. My goodness. Well, speaking of some frightening moments, crime and chaos surging in Los Angeles. And a recent video reveals a terrifying highway robbery in broad daylight. 4 suspects, all wearing dark clothing and masks, were caught on camera getting out of a dark-colored minivan and running toward a wrecked sedan. On the video, police say you can hear one of the highway robbers yell at the victim to stay down and keep his hands up. The thieves continued to search the car while other drivers slowed down to see what was happening. One of the robbers even threatens a passerby. Moments later, a white Chevrolet Malibu pulls up to the crash as a getaway car. Investigators believe the victim's car was targeted by the thieves.
And you're going to see this, and it's mob mentality. I mean, they're doing it now into like malls or high-end stores. They'll just a group of of people, and there's nothing you can do about it. But you don't expect to see that on the road.
No, and it's happening in states where they've really reduced any sort of criminal charges for most people, unless it's, for felony murder.
Yeah.
But this is outrageous. Like, who feels safe on the streets anymore?
And if that was a random pick or whatever, what if there was a kid in the car? What if something happened? What if they had a heart attack and somebody died? I think, it should be up for murder charges.
So, oddly, I had something like this happen to me here in Orlando, where we are, and these people came up next to me, threw something in my car, so I would stop, thinking they hit me. And I got out, I'm like, there was no damage or anything, and I thought this was a little weird, and then all of a sudden 4 people surrounded my car. So I got out of there and then had to call the police later. I was like, I didn't do a hit and run, but also look out for this and everything. So I've had that happen to me.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. All right, well, either way, just be careful out there. Keep your eyes open everywhere you go.
The city of Oakland, California, which is north of Los Angeles, recently launched a temporary app program to say, if your car's been stolen, let us know. They were swamped with so many messages that they had to shut the app down. Can you believe that?
Yes, I do.
This is California right now. Pop star Taylor Swift is living out the American dream thanks to her recent tour and concert film. And she can now add billionaire to her resume. According to Forbes magazine, the 33-year-old singer was worth $740 million back in June, making her the second richest self-made woman in music, ahead of Madonna and Beyonce. Rihanna takes the top spot with $1.4 billion in net worth. Meanwhile, her Eras tour, which kicked off in March, has brought in more than $700 million in ticket sales. This means Swift has crossed into billionaire status. Tickets for her show averaged around $254, with some superfans paying up to $10 grand for the experience. And this number does not include the merchandise sales, like $75 hoodies and $50 t-shirts. Fans also made a swift run to the box office when the Eras tour movie was released in October. Ticket sales for the concert film have already crossed over the $100 million mark.
And you get that, and she worked for it. I give her this because she wasn't related to anybody. She started out in the country scene, which
doing country fairs, county fairs,
working and going to radio stations and saying, hey, "Listen, here's my song." Listen, on her own. So I love the fact that she's self-made.
Yeah.
But you think I'm trying to think who else. Beyonce at one time was the big runner. I don't think she got anywhere near where Taylor Swift is right now. But there's got to be only just like one person that everybody focuses on, and that success breeds the success. At least I'm
Do you
still
think Travis
waiting to
Kelce
come
makes her like the dinner bill?
He better, man.
He just went and bought a $6 million house from his $900 million house, and they're like, "Oh, look, he's trying to show off to Taylor." And she's a billionaire, dude.
That's what happens when you gotta come up with the money if you're gonna date.
You got to keep up.
Yeah. Not me, though.
He could be marrying up, really.
If
you think about it, right?
I'm certainly
Definitely.
There's a windsurfer. He escaped a near-death experience after being body slammed by a humpback whale. Reminds me of my prom. Am I right, ladies?
Hey now. Hi, yes.
All right, here's the video. 55-year-old Jason Bream was enjoying a morning ride off the coast of Sydney, Australia, and we know that everything in Australia is trying to kill you. So he went out to sea. Creature launched out of the water. Check this out, this video. The incredible moment captured on his GoPro. Whale's tail got caught in Bream's leg rope and dragged him about 30 feet underwater. Look at this. Look, it's him underwater.
That's crazy.
Luckily, the board leash snapped from the force. He managed to break free, allowing him to swim back up to the surface. So GoPro for the day and for the save to see all that. And, these whales, they talk about how smart whales are. Maybe they're smarter than us, and they're just kind of like, at this point, like, listen,
get out of my way.
I'm tired of this crap. We're bigger than
They've
you
had
guys.
the orcas attacking all the fishermen boats and everything because they've had it with
They're
them.
done. These whales are coming back. Man, Star Trek, what was it, 3D? Remember that one?
Yes. Yep.
It's starting to make
happening.
sense.
Was there a whale connection?
Yes,
in
there was
Star
a whole
Trek?
whale. They had to go back
Oh.
to 1984 or something like that to save the whales. Remember when Save the Whales was
Yes,
the
a huge
du
thing.
jour?
Sure, right.
So this movie was based around
He did say that he was thankful that it was a younger whale. It was a juvenile whale, because if it had been an adult, he probably would be dead.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Do you know that a blue whale, I learned this just the other day, a blue whale, when it's born, gains 200 pounds a day? A blue whale for 1 year. That's a lot of weight.
That's what I feel like after Thanksgiving.
Right? Yeah, it's whole December for
Single
me.
day.
Exactly. An orchestra in South Korea was just led for the first time ever an AI robot conductor. No, not Al Gore.
Oh.
I have got to update my jokes.
Look at that.
That's a Thursday joke.
All right, Ever Six, that's his name, made its debut leading the country's national orchestra. The robot with a humanoid face first bowed to the audience and then started waving his arms to control the tempo of the live show. Apparently, he didn't care. He was waving his arms.
And he didn't care.
He did not care. There was one problem. A robot can't hear. Critics said the robot's moves lacked breath or the ability to keep the orchestra engaged during a live performance, which is essential when it comes to playing in front of a live audience. I've done this one time where it was like a charity thing, and it's, hey, guest conductor, Mitch English, and I get up there, and I go, oh, it's just put your hands up in the air. We all know what we're doing. I think that's the case, too. Robot or not, one of these things, it's not going to change the music.
Here's the million-dollar question. Can he raise the roof?
Right. Could he? He can catch it on fire, and the roof will be on fire, and he'll be raising the roof when we return. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Time for our Parenthood segment. Our next guest is Zen Honeycutt. She is the founding director of the nonprofit Moms Across America, whose motto is Empowered Moms, Healthy Kids. I like it. They recently commissioned a testing on 21 of the most popular fast food brands, and the results were shared just 2 weeks ago during a congressional briefing on food toxicity in Washington, D.C. Zen, we welcome you to Daily Flash. This has got to be very, very important, but I want you to tell us what you looked for and what was the results of the testing that you went through. And is this really going to change anything, how our kids eat, maybe even at school?
Well, thanks for having me on, Mitch. I appreciate you and your team. We hope it will change things. The reason why we tested was because last year when we tested 43 school lunch samples, by the way, over 40 is a statistically and scientifically significant number that the USDA and the EPA, and we hope the FDA will not ignore. When we were testing the school lunch samples, we learned from school lunch directors that fast food chains are often the suppliers of the food to our school lunches. Yeah. And considering our childhood obesity, diabetes, and, chronic illness crisis, we figured we better go to the source and also test fast food samples. And Mitch, the results are abysmal. 100% of the fast food samples were positive for lead and cadmium, very toxic heavy metals. The 100% of the fast food samples were also positive for glyphosate, otherwise known as Roundup weed killer.
Yes.
76% were positive for harmful pesticides, and also antibiotics. Chick-fil-A sandwich had an aviary contraceptive in it. It's also an anti-parasitic, but it's a known aviary contraceptive. That cannot be good for 85 million Americans consuming probably on a daily basis, as well as our students in schools. Okay,
so now when we say fast food here, so is it they go, hey, I'm going to use one of the popular ones. Hey, I want a Big Mac, or is it like labeled and the meat might come from the fast food and they don't know that it's actually from a big chain?
It's from the fast food brand.
Is that right?
Our volunteers went to 21 different locations across the country, not just from one state, all across the country. They purchased 3 or 4 samples of each one of 2 types of different meals, sent them into the, froze them, sent them in the lab. They never touched them. And the lab conducted testing on 236 different pesticides, 104 different veterinary drugs and hormones, glyphosate, heavy metals, minerals, vitamin Bs, which were sorely deficient in these foods. In order for a woman or a man to get the proper levels of vitamin B3 for the recommended daily intake, a woman would have to consume 333 Chick-fil-A sandwiches. A man would have to consume 380 in one day to get the recommended level of vitamin B3. And vitamin B3 is very important because a deficiency of vitamin B3 has been shown in prisoners and high school dropouts to lead to increased aggression and violence.
Okay.
And we all know that America has a problem with aggression and violence. So we at Moms Across America are extremely concerned about the high toxicity and the lack of nutrients in the food supply that Americans are consuming on a daily basis.
I want to go back. I mean, you do obviously great things like this. It's going to help making sure our children are eating better, even us as moms feed the family, right? So that's great. But how did Moms Across America actually get started, and why as well?
Well, thanks for asking. Like millions of mothers across the country, I was struggling with my children's health issues. They had allergies, 20-something different allergies each, my 3 boys. They had, at one point, asthma symptoms, autism symptoms, autoimmune issues. And when I looked into it, I realized that genetically modified foods and toxins like glyphosate had changed the food supply. It wasn't like that when we were children, and now the food supply is very different. When I made the changes, when we went organic, almost all of my children's health issues have gone away. 2 out of 3 of my boys have not been to a doctor for 9 years except for sports checkups. Wow. We are saving thousands and thousands of dollars every year by paying the farmer instead of the doctor.
What do you say to the families that go, listen, fast food is basically the only, I have 2 jobs, I'm trying to pay the bills, and fast food is the only way I can do it, and fast food's cheap. You know, if it's cheap and it tastes good, I can guarantee it's probably not good for you. But what would you say to them?
Yeah, it's not cheap when you look at the fact that on average, an American spends $10,000 a year on their healthcare expenses. An average fast food worker only makes $26,000 a year. The CEO of McDonald's makes $1.8 million a month, according to 2017 numbers. You know, what we're talking about is a lot of CEOs getting very wealthy off this cheap food, and the workers and the American public getting very sick and spending a lot of money on healthcare. And we spend $4 trillion in America now on healthcare. I think it's time for this to stop. I think it's time for violent and aggressive behavior to be addressed by providing access to nutrient-dense, safe, non-toxic food for everyone, not just for the people who can afford organic.
All right, thank you so much, Zen, for joining us. And there's plenty of moms out there watching. You want to find more information on this and actually other things that you can find out, just go to momsacrossamerica.com.
Thank you.
Great information, Mitch. Thank you. Well, with seasonal spending in focus, we are all looking for ways to stretch the budget. Here's TV personality and new mom Maria Menounos with some savvy shopping advice.
So I've partnered with Straight Talk Wireless to bring this really incredible value today that I'm so excited about. So basically, if you upgrade to their Gold or Platinum plan, you get a free Walmart Plus membership. Now, here's why this is cool. So imagine you are getting ready for dinner, you're realizing that you're missing a few key ingredients, but you don't have time to run to the store. They will deliver your groceries to your doorstep for free. You also get free shipping on anything you order. You get free streaming service on Paramount Plus, which I love. And then savings on gas, which is really important at this time of year because a lot of people at Thanksgiving like to travel with their families. And so you get savings on gas, and there's so much more. And the coolest part is Walmart Plus members are saving up to $1,300 a year. That's a lot of money so that you can appropriate that somewhere else that will give you joy. So if you want more information, you can go to straighttalk.com.
Still more trendy news and entertainment coming your way. Looking for something that's going to be in the theaters, maybe streaming, want to watch a good flick? Don't worry, we got Tony Toscano. We'll be checking in with him. And Screen Chatter coming up.
And some daily digits, I believe,
We'll do some
with
digiting.
Matt Doolittle coming out.
All right, all that and more right here on Daily Flash. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. It's Thursday, which means it's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, it's Tony!
Thanks, Mitch. Now in theaters is the animated feature The Canterville Ghost. It's based on the short story by Oscar Wilde.
Ghost or no ghost, this family are here to stay.
I hate it here.
Okay, good talk.
Henry Fitzhumphrey. We used to own the place until the ghost drove us out.
Really? I need your help to scare my parents out of here.
A goblin!
Do you mind, sir?
The ghost of Sir Simon Canterville has been roaming his castle for centuries, searching in vain for a brave descendant who will release him from his curse. Can the daughter of the American family that just moved in help him? I chatted with director Robert Chandler.
Well, I mean, I believe in children. I believe that children like to be frightened, entertained. They do feel the sort of themes that adults almost take for granted. They do feel them. We had a 10-year-old boy saying, when someone asked him what he got from an advanced screening, he just said that you shouldn't waste time and that you should make the most of life while you have it. This is a 10-year-old boy. And I almost burst into tears.
If you have youngsters and want to take them out to a kid-friendly, fun ghost story, this one will do nicely. The characters are charming and the animation is bright and colorful with a warm and witty script. Again, The Canterville Ghost is in selected theaters this Friday. It gets a B and is rated PG. Streaming on Apple TV Plus is the comedy drama series Lessons in Chemistry. It stars Brie Larson.
Just stop you crying every time you lie.
You've got something almost no one has.
Breaking through the atmosphere.
The platform. What you say matters.
Politics don't belong in the kitchen. A man wants his wife to make him a drink after a long day at work.
Why do you assume that his day was longer than hers? Why don't you make them drink?
Based on the book by Elizabeth Zott, in the 1950s, after a woman's dream of being a scientist is dashed, she accepts a job on a TV cooking show and sets out to teach a nation of overlooked housewives way more than just recipes. I chatted with the show's food consultant, Courtney McBroom.
Well, I think that the story of Elizabeth Zott is such a universal story. Everyone, I think there's a little bit Elizabeth Zott in all of us. I can relate to her. Even, you don't even necessarily need to be a woman to relate to the hardships that she's gone through. And her tenacity and her ability to never give up and to stand strong in her conviction of who she is and to never apologize for it. So inspiring. I love it so much, and I'm so happy and proud to have gotten to have a role in the creation of this show. It's so cool.
Lessons in Chemistry is a must-watch series due to its insightful writing, compelling characters, and acting. Check it out streaming on Apple TV+. It gets a B and is rated TVMA. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Thanks, Tony, and welcome to this week's Daily Digits. We're kicking off this week with a mammoth, get it, number. That's 1.25 million. We head to Anchorage, Alaska, where a complete mammoth skull with both tusks intact is up for auction. It's expected to grab over $1.25 million. Whoa. It's described as one of the finest woolly mammoth skulls in the world, and it's complete with a pair of blue tusks that weigh more than 180 pounds each and are around 12 feet long. Now, it's not unusual for a mammoth tusk to be in auction up there, but it's the first time the auction includes a complete mammoth skull. And Mitch, one of the weird things with this was they were digging and they found it, and the skull broke up and it turned into one of the biggest jigsaw puzzles ever to put this thing together. Yeah. But where do you put something like that?
Yeah, how much super glue does it take?
I mean, it was insane. All right, your next number today is $33.2 million. And yes, we have to include her because this is an entertainment show and Taylor Swift is entertaining. She keeps making that money. The Eras Tour made another $33.2 million this weekend at the box office, bringing the domestic total to $140 million and the worldwide tour to over $200 million. Taylor has hit that billionaire status because of the re-release of her 1989 album. I think we're all thinking it.
Yes.
Travis, put a ring on it. You can only get hit in the head so many times. Come on, dude. Make it work.
You got to think about that. And how much money, first off, it made, you didn't get to go to the concert, and then you went. It was brilliant marketing.
Right.
You went to the concert, paid outrageous money. Oh, I want to see what it looks like in a movie.
I'm going to go see the movie.
And you're going to pay for twice.
So you're double paying for the Taylor.
You're getting double tailored. So
double tailored.
And people don't seem to mind.
They're all for it because she's a decent person, and you're like, I don't mind giving her money.
I think with Taylor, you just need. I would love for you to come by here on the show.
Yeah,
what you would do for us. Have an open invitation.
Just stand in the parking lot.
Have her do the Daily Digits.
Have her do Daily Digits.
Right. We got more Flash coming up. If you stick around, we'll take care of you. You're watching Trending News and Entertainment right here on Daily Flash.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hello, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
We're always joined by our buddy Matt Dula. Matt, you
Matty.
love, you're a big football fan too. What's the thing that the National Football League always says about recording?
You can't re-air this without the express written consent of the NFL or the Players Association.
You hear that all the time, right?
Sure.
Well, all right. So the University of Houston. We'll call them, in this case, we'll call them UH.
I like it.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
So UH said, listen, we got to have new uniforms. Okay. All right? And they said, we got to have them now. So we want you guys, we want the most creative people out there making us some new uniforms.
Okay.
So they made some uniforms, and they are almost identical to the Houston Oilers. Logo, color, everything, right? So they go, hey, look at it, buddy. Where's our new uniforms? And then NFL said, hold on, wait a minute. This ain't going to happen. Sent them a cease and desist. saying you cannot use these. These are a ripoff. And they're like, no, it's a little bit different.
You do not want that phone call.
From the NFL,
nope.
right?
You don't fight with the shield.
So basically, they came back at University of Houston, says, listen, we are just paying homage to from 1959 till 1997, Houston Oilers were in Houston. They left, now they're the Tennessee Titans. Houston Oilers, or any kind of Oiler, doesn't exist. And so they said, we're just paying homage to that era where the Love You Blue was around, and this is actually paying homage to our police department, which everyone knows they have a different color blue, which is very similar to what they're doing. So we'll see what happens. If I was the NFL, I'd say, hey, that's a great honor.
Yeah.
But they own it, right?
Here's the thing. There is a high school in Central Florida that uses the Patriots logo, and it is exactly like the New England Patriots. And the problem that the NFL or a franchise like the Patriots would have is because they sell merchandise which looks exactly like their logo and from the lettering to the logo down to everything.
You would
so they can be in big trouble for that.
With the University of Houston and all the scholars in there,
they could come up with something
apparently
original.
They don't have a good law school at UH, right?
My goodness.
All right, so I don't think we'll be seeing the UH new team.
We're going to have to go back to the drawing board and rethink that one. Well, some scary moments for passengers who were trying to exit a JetBlue plane in New York when the tail tilted back at the gate. It had just arrived from Barbados when it appeared to tip backward, while some passengers were still inside the cabin grabbing their luggage. The jolt caused everyone inside to panic and grab hold of a seat. JetBlue officials said no one was hurt, thankfully. However, the plane and the gate were damaged. Now, according to one commercial pilot, cargo usually it's unloaded from the back while passengers exit from the front. If the ground crew wasn't following this procedure, a shift in weight could have caused the plane to become unsteady and tilt. The airline is doing a full review to pinpoint the exact cause.
The good news is it did win a contest at a Freaknik concert. It was actually back it up.
Back that thing up?
It's just the bouncing, make that thing clap in the back.
Does it have a beep, like a reverse beep?
You would think, beep, 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 beep. Exactly. You know, those big trucks that, and the people, as you had mentioned, saying, it's weighted. Matter of fact, that's why when you're in a plane and it's a smaller plane and you're a bigger person, they might tell you to get up and move because they have to do all that together. But it seems like they should have figured that out before they landed there.
There might be a job opening there.
I think, there will be a job opening for sure. No doubt that crime and chaos are happening in Los Angeles, right? You watch Grand Theft Auto, you play it, you know what I'm talking about. Well, now a new recent video reveals a terrifying highway robbery, and it happened right in broad daylight. You're going to watch it happen right now. 4 suspects, all wearing dark clothing and masks, caught on camera getting out of a dark-colored minivan, which right there should be a crime.
Yes.
And ran through the wrecked sedan. Now, on the video, police say you can hear one of the highway robbers yell at the victim to stay down and keep his hands up. The thieves continue to search the car while other drivers slow down to see what's happening, rubbernecking. One of the robbers threatens a passenger. Moments later, a white Chevy Malibu pulls up to the crash as a getaway car. Investigators believe the victim's car was targeted by the thieves. And, could have killed him, if you think about that. And then the panic that happens all the time.
And the guy, a bystander taking the video there, as you mentioned, was threatened by these guys, but he's grabbing video because it's like, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
And great evidence, possibly. We can be able to find that. More than likely, the cars that came up and assisted were probably stolen in the first place in that way. All right, we have got more Flash coming up around the corner. We don't want you to miss out on all the fun. If you go anywhere, you will. All right, so don't do that. More Flash, more fun, trending news and entertainment right here on Daily Flash. Flash travel will get you where you want to be. It's time for some air, land, and sea. All right, to me, there's actually nothing better than a last-minute trip to a place I had no idea I would be there. But hey, a great deal popped up and boom, I'm going to Albuquerque for the weekend. Well, what about you? Did your plans change last minute? Do you have a free weekend all of a sudden? Well, why not just head off for a last-minute adventure with fun travel buddies all in tow? Sure, it could be a stressful sitch, but it actually could be something really cool, and we here at Flash Travel have some tips for you when it comes to last-minute travel. Follow these, and you might actually save some cash too. First up, front load. Download the right apps. Last-minute travel goes hand in hand with last-minute flights. Therefore, download the right apps to track your cheapest options. For example, apps like Hopper and Get the Flight Out will allow you to track flights by the hour and check for the best route and the cheapest dates. You can ask your friends what app they'll use. They'll find you a great deal, and you'll be far away from them once you get to your destination, all right? Next up, Prepare to fly midweek, all in order to save some money. Of course, your last-minute plans always come on the weekend, right? However, the secret to last-minute travel tips is to book your flights on a Tuesday or Wednesday. It's going to help you actually save a few bucks because most people tend to start their trips on the weekend. Therefore, rates tend to be significantly cheaper midweek. So make sure you take advantage of this. Also note this one essential tip among all last-minute travel tips. Very important. All right, listen, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but don't have high expectations. Having last-minute detailed plan can only cloud up your days, which should be spontaneous and free of stress. In these last-minute travel tips, be open to new adventures. Moreover, it's okay to say yes to changing plans rather than sticking to your original thoughts. These can be some of the best adventures for your last-minute travel experience. The ones, guess what, you didn't sign up for. Next up, keep in mind the 14-day rule. It's the magical travel window. The 14-day window before your desired departure date is the best time to book your hotels, flights, and cruises. Why? Well, this is because you can make sure that you already secured the accommodation and transportation for your last-minute travel. Better deals are out there if you can actually plan 14 days out. But if you're like me, I don't consider 14 days as last minute, so you might want to change your definition altogether. Avoid peak seasons, your next tip. The next thing for your last-minute trip tips is to avoid as much possible booking in your last-minute travel in those peak seasons. No brainer. And last-minute travel tip is all about lodging. Definitely use hotel apps. Then, after you book, you can actually find out the hotel has even bigger savings than its competitors. Now, a lot of times, though, hotels are going to offer their rooms at a lot cheaper rate the more last minute is, okay? You're probably already a laid-back person if you consider it a last-minute journey, right? However, let this one essential last-minute travel tip be a friendly reminder for you that go with the flow and let things come or go. You know, last-minute travel definitely has its perks, but it also requires patience. And when things don't go easily as you imagine them, hey, remember, that's all part of the adventure too. That's what makes your last-minute travel so memorable. All right, it's very important to make sure that you do all these things, and of course, maybe you have a few tips that you want to check out. Easy to do. Just check out our website. All you have to do is just check out our Facebook page and comment on it. How to find it? It's very simple. All you have to do is look for Flash Travel TV on Facebook and leave your comment. Or even faster way is go to flashtraveltv.com and we'll take you directly there so you'll be able to find it. And we'd love to hear from you too. What's some of your favorite destinations? Where's a place that maybe not that many people know about, but are definitely a destination for you to see? That's where we'd love to hear your comments. Just go to our, again, Facebook page, or the website's waiting for you at flashtraveltv.com. It's waiting there for you. Air, land, and sea. We got more Daily Flash coming up around the corner. If you go anywhere, you'll miss out on it. We also remind you to check out our website, dailyflashshow.com. There you'll find full episodes, links to all the things that we've been talking about here on the show, and you can also drop us an email. There, waiting for you, dailyflashshow.com. More of it right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, the holidays are coming soon, and so is the cold and flu season. Joining us today is Dr. John Stutz, the pediatric medical director at Abbott, with some cold and flu season remedies. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Can you give us some recommendations to help avoid getting sick this time of year?
Absolutely. I cannot stress enough the power of prevention. And I'll give you 4 tips for preventing illness. Number 1 is washing your hands with soap and water frequently. Number 2, keeping your hands away from your mouth, nose, and eyes, which are ways in which germs enter our bodies and can cause us to get sick. Number 3, sanitize surfaces in your household on a regular basis. And number 4, and maybe the most important, is to educate your children on how to wash their hands properly and showing them how to wash their hands properly. Because if your kids get sick, you know who's going to get sick next. You and everyone else in the household.
They're going to be the whole house. So are those the best ways to prepare, or are there some other tips you might have?
Well, think back to the last time that your kids were last sick. It's always at the most inopportune times, right? It's in the middle of the night. It's in the early morning hours. It's the day before you go on vacation. So I think really preparing by getting those sick day essentials now would be really important. And so purchasing those hand sanitizers, those thermometers, tissues, fever reducers, and COVID self-tests like Binax Now, and electrolyte solution like Pedialyte. Everyone knows that hydration is important, but hydration is vital when we are ill.
Absolutely. And where can we go for more information, Doctor?
Well, I hope everyone has a really happy and healthy holiday season. Don't forget the power of prevention. And for more information, you can go to Pedialyte.com.
Awesome. Thank you.
Have you heard the saying, a random act of kindness can change a life? Efforts are underway to get community banks and credit unions across the country to reach the goal of performing 100,000 acts of kindness starting on November 3rd. Here's more.
100,000 random acts of kindness in a single weekend. Are you up for the challenge? In partnership with Charlie Rocket's Dream Machine Foundation, Kasasa has partnered with community banks and credit unions across the country to kick off the best weekend ever on November 3rd. Our goal is to impact 100,000 lives by creating 100,000 random acts of kindness, and we want you to be part of it. Celebrate the best weekend ever with a local financial institution near you. Banking and the world have become so impersonal. Community banks and credit unions will be hosting local events across the country to encourage others to practice kindness and remember the importance of our irreplaceable human connections. This is the first time community financial institutions have come together for a nationwide event of this scale. Join the movement for a kinder world kicking off on November 3rd. For more info, visit kasasalove.com.
Get those acts of kindness out there. Hey, it's National Bladder Health Awareness Month, and one company has launched a new website designed to address topics that might seem difficult to discuss. Here's more.
Thank you for having me on the show today. As a board-certified OBGYN and Vice President of Medical Affairs of a women's health and fertility company, I believe that access to information is power, especially when it comes to your health. Did you know that more than 13 million Americans suffer from urinary incontinence, and women are twice as likely to suffer from it as men? Urinary incontinence is the accidental leakage of urine that you can't control, and it's common. Urinary incontinence is undertreated and can greatly affect your quality of life. From family gatherings to exercising, women who suffer from urinary incontinence tend to restrict their social and physical activities. Unfortunately, many people still don't talk about these issues with their healthcare provider. That's why we launched a new website designed to address topics that might be a little challenging to discuss, like weakening pelvic muscles, incontinence, or abnormal periods. Our site is a judgment-free zone where you can read real, relatable patient stories and discover solutions that can help improve your quality of life. At Cooper Surgical, we're passionate about providing you with resources tailored to your unique needs. Together, we'll embark on a journey towards better health for your bladder, your uterus, for you. Visit coopersurgical.com to see how you can take charge of your health.
Experts say most consumers will use their credit cards while they shop for the holidays, but how are you protecting your buying power? Here's the chairman of the Electronic Payment Coalition with more.
It's important that people make sure they do everything they can to make sure that they are safe and secure payments. Unfortunately, there are some 2,000 attacks per day via cyber credit threats, but Americans rely on their credit cards for access to credit, safety and soundness reasons, and also making sure they get their reward points as well. People use these reward points to lower their gas price, to lower their grocery bill as well. You got to change your passcode. You should change them about every 6 months, make them unique. Go ahead and have two-way authentication services enabled, but then also contact your bank to make sure you have the alert systems set up. Make sure you keep your data secure. You can go to handsoffmyrewards.com, handsoffmyrewards.com to make sure your credit card is safe and secure, and you can hang on to all those reward points.
Annual enrollment for health benefits is underway, and some who have both Medicare and Medicaid may actually qualify for a dual plan. Here's Dr. Gina Williams with United Healthcare to break it all down for us.
The Medicare annual enrollment period is here, and people who have both Medicare and Medicaid may qualify for a dual special needs plan and additional benefits that can help with everyday needs. With the United Healthcare Dual Complete Plan, individuals may be eligible for covered prescriptions, routine dental services, and hearing or eye exams at no extra cost. In addition, with the United Healthcare U-Card, individuals may access a monthly credit to help pay for healthy food like fresh fruit, over-the-counter products, and utility bills like electricity. It's important to empower people with information so they can make the best choice for their individual health needs. Putting off care, especially annual wellness visits, may leave health risks undiagnosed and untreated. Preventive visits and updating lab work, vaccinations, and routine screenings may help catch and treat problems earlier. For more information and to find the plan that is right for you, visit getdual.com.
We always love to hear from you. We always love when you ask, hey, where can I get more info? Guess what? Got a place for you. It's dailyflashshow.com. It's always open, always waiting for you. There you'll find full episodes of Daily Flash. Also find links as well as, of course, the videos that we see and show the information that we have. And, of course, you can find out a little about us and drop us an email. We love hearing from you. The website, again, dailyflashshow.com. Get your camera out. If you scan that weird squiggly thing in the corner, it'll take you right there. And you can check it out for yourself.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. An alleged curse disturbs the relationship of a newly married couple as they try to conceive a child while co-starring in a new home improvement show. Very many layers to this one. This is the Showtime must-watch series, The Curse.
This isn't your typical home flipping show. My homes are reflecting the local communities. Come on. And we're husband and wife.
This is
So what could go wrong?
Let's grab a quick shot of you giving money to that little girl over there.
We're doing good here. We are good people.
Thank you.
We're really good.
Got it.
So all I had on me was that $100 bill.
No refund.
That's not fair. Come on.
Fair.
Let me go get change and...
What is that?
That's nothing.
This is... You don't need to see this.
Why did you snatch back the money? Why didn't you just give her the 100?
I was gonna buy 6 of them for $20.
I curse you.
What did she say?
I pulled into Nazareth.
What?
Was feeling about that bad day.
What?
Things have been a little weird.
I just need some place
This thing that you're doing right now, it's helping the community. It's immune to criticism.
where I can lay my head.
Hi. Oh, Marjorie can speak to the work much better than I can.
I think I'll let the work speak for itself.
Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load off, Take a load off.
Just because Whitney has a moral issue with something that's happening, we just toss it away?
This doesn't make sense. Hi. Is everything okay?
Maybe this is all happening for a reason.
I can't wait for this show to come out. Everyone will get to see who you really are.
You know you can tell me anything, right?
Of course.
This looks cool. Looks really cool.
does
I
look
love
good,
Nathan
doesn't
Fielder
it?
too, and Emma Stone
Emma
too.
Stone,
People I
she's
love.
terrific.
That does it for our show. These are folks that help make the show great. We
Look at that
appreciate you joining
crew.
us. We'll have more
Hey,
Flash
everybody.
tomorrow. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you.